Alright guys, continuing with our fractions unit, we're going to go ahead and talk about how to express a fraction as a decimal. Now I want you to think about decimals for a minute and what you already know. If you think of the place value chart, we go from ones, the decimal goes to the right of the ones, we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. All of those are in base 10. That means whenever we have a fraction, we need to get the denominator into tens, hundreds, or thousandths. If we start with this example of 2/5, we know that we can go ahead and get an equivalent fraction of 2/5 that has a denominator of 10 if we simply times both the numerator and denominator by 2. So this fraction now becomes 4 tenths. Now that we have 4 tenths, we can turn that into a decimal. Just think of how would you say 4 tenths. We want that 4 in the tenths place, and this becomes 4 tenths. Let's try another one. We have 9/20ths. We can't turn this into a 10, but we can find an equivalent fraction of 100. And we know if we do 5 times 20 and 9 times 20, we can go ahead and come up with 45 hundredths. Now think of your place value chart where the hundredths are. You want that last digit to end in the hundredths place. So this would become 45 hundredths. And that's how we turn a fraction into a decimal. Now I want you to try one. I want you to go ahead and turn 4/5 into a decimal. We're going to move on. Pause that, do that, and then move on. Alright, we're going to talk about expressing division expressions as decimals. We talked about this whole division expression, funny phrase, but we know we could write 9 divided by 6. We could write 9 divided by 6. We could write 9 divided by 6. Now let's think about this one. At a glance, this looks kind of difficult. How do I make that 6 into a base 10, 10, 20, or 10 hundredths, thousandths? Let's go ahead and simplify first of all. I can go ahead and turn this into a mixed number, which would be 1 and 3, 6. Let's simplify even more. We can turn this into 1 and a half. Now we have something to work with that we can turn into a 10. If we take that 1/2 times the numerator and denominator by 5, we come up with 1 and 5 tenths. So think of what that would look like as a decimal. 1 and 5 tenths. Remember that decimal is when we say the word and with numbers. So that's how we can express division expressions as decimals. I'm going to have you try this with 5 divided by 2. Good luck. Pause this. Go ahead and solve that one. Let me know how it goes. One more thing. I can express mixed numbers as decimals. We just kind of did that on the previous one. If we have 2 and 1/4, you need to think, how can I turn this into a 10, 100, thousandths? And hopefully you all know that if we multiply 4 times 25, it equals 100. So we'd have 2 and 25 hundredths. And if you wrote that as a decimal, 2 and 25 hundredths. Guess what? You get to try one now. Let's go ahead and choose 5 and, you're going to make it easy, okay? 5 and 1/2. Turn that into a decimal for me. Good luck. If you're confused about anything, go back and rewind. And I'm hoping to get 3 answers from you. First of all, don't forget to do your whisk. Where did you watch this? Where and when? Write a summary of what you learned. Hopefully you learned how to turn mixed numbers into decimals, expressions into decimals, and fractions into decimals, and that should be included in your summary. What question do you have based on what you learned? If you don't have any questions, if this is awesomely clear to you, what questions might show up on a test? And then answer the 3 problems that I presented you with. Good luck and have fun.